This party jollof rice is perfect for your get-togethers. Everyone will love it. Keep watching. Let me show you how to make this delicious looking jollof rice. Let's begin. So first I'm going to cook my protein of choice, which is chicken. You can use turkey. I'm using chicken and goat meat. They have the same cooking time. So it's been washed now in a pot. Next, go in with some onion chopped, some grated garlic and ginger. Next thing is some fresh rosemary, some sage, thyme, curry powder, a bit of cumin and some chicken seasoning. I'm going to stir everything well to combine. Cover and let it steam cook for about 15 minutes without adding water. Today's special hug is for Vivi David watching from Nigeria. I'm glad you love the recipes. Please let me know where you're watching from so I can send you a hug in my next video. Meanwhile, I'm going to prep the pepper mix for our stew base. Over here, I have some onion. I'll list everything I'm using today in the comment section, so check it out. I have some red bell pepper, some paprika pepper, you may call that shombo, some tomatoes, habanero pepper, and some dried tatashe or some dried red bell pepper. I also have some peeled garlic and ginger. To begin, I'm going to remove the seeds from the dried chilies. Rinse everything properly, cut them in half and transfer into a pot. You want to cook that down until the dried chilies become soft. This should take anywhere around 30 to 40 minutes. Another way to get this done is to transfer everything into a tray, drizzle some oil over it, and grill in the oven until it turns charred. 15 minutes later, stir the meat, add water and allow to cook until it is done. Now for full disclosure, I used old layer chicken, which was why I added the goat's meat together with the chicken. If you're using soft chicken, of course you cannot cook goat's meat together with it, okay? 40 minutes later, you can see the dried attaché is now soft. So what I'm going to do now is drain this and transfer into a blender. Let it cool a bit before you blend. Now once you add that, you're now going to add the onion, garlic and ginger to it now and blend till it is smooth, and that is our base. 40 minutes later, the chicken and goat meat is also cooked. I'm going to taste it to be sure everything is looking good. How would you know I'm African if I don't do this? Okay, so now remove the chicken from the stock. Save the stock, we'll need it later. For a delicious jollof rice, your stock is important, okay? So make sure you always season your chicken properly. Now you want to strain this and set it aside. Next, I'm going to fry the chicken. You can air fry it or grill in the oven, but I need that oil for my jollof rice. So go in with some oil into a wide enough pot. Once it heats up, go ahead and fry the meat. I'm not going to fry this too dry because as you can see, the chicken does not have a lot of flesh. While that is going, I'll go ahead and slice some shallots. Shallots add that sweetness balance to your jollof rice. They look really similar to onion, but they are different. This is a bit sweeter, okay? You can also use the dry ones if you have it. So slice and set it aside. Once you have fried your protein to your desired texture, scoop it out. Clean the oil and reduce it if it is too much for your jollof rice. I'm going to reduce this because it's a bit too much. So I'm going to take a reasonable amount out and then fry our shallot and tomato paste in it. Like I said, this oil, because we fried our chicken in it, adds tons of flavor to your jollof rice. Next, I'm going to add some dried thyme, some curry powder, and the shallot. I'm going to fry this for about a minute or two to release the sweetness, and then I'll go in with some tomato paste. You need tomato paste in your jollof rice for that pop of color. Once you add the tomato paste, you want to turn down your gas a little bit and then continue to fry this for about 7 to 10 minutes until it is no longer sour. It will begin to taste sweet and separate from each other once it is ready. Now once you achieve that, you can now go in with our prepared pepper mix that we prepped earlier here. Add it and then stir everything to combine. At this point, I'm going to add some bay leaf, some smoked paprika. It is very optional, but you know, I just love the depth of flavor it adds. Next thing is some white pepper. Add a bit of seasoning to adjust if necessary. Also have some onga seasoning here. I'm going to stir everything well to combine now and cover for it to fry on medium-low heat for another 15 to 20 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to prepare the rice. Over here, I have some long grain parboiled rice. Add that into a bowl and then give it a first rinse. Look at all that starch. Drain that and then go in with your hot water. I have some boiling water here. You want to make sure the rice is submerged in the water. Cover and let it sit for 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, you're going to now rinse this multiple times till the water runs clear. What this process will do is help take out as much starch as possible, so always make sure you wash your rice thoroughly, okay? 20 minutes later, I'm going to stir this. You also want to please stir with intervals so it doesn't burn. Even though, you know, jollof that is not burning, is that one jollof? Please help me answer in the comment section. Alright, so I'm going to go in now with the meat stock that we saved earlier. Give that a good mix and taste to be sure everything is good before you add the rice. So I'm going to add the washed rice now. See how beautiful that rice is looking. Once you add the rice, you also want to top it up with a bit of water if the liquid in there is not enough. You want the rice and the liquid in the pot to be at the same level if you're going to be using my procedure. So add a bit more water, making sure everything is at the same level. Once that is done, cover this and let it cook for the first 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, I'm going to give this a gentle mix. Now, at this point, you can adjust with seasoning or salt if necessary. This is the best time you can do any adjustment. Seasoning your jollof rice once it is cooked is not the best practice, okay? So at this point, I'm going to go in with a bit of salt, stir to combine, and then trap the steam in there with some foil or parchment paper. That way you don't need a lot of water to cook your jollof, but the steam. So I'm going to cover this with foil paper and let the steam do the rest of the cooking. "30 minutes later on medium-high heat, this is the result. I'm going to remove the foil and give that a very gentle mix. You guys, let me tell you, the aroma here was so nose blinding. My neighbor had to knock on my door. So I promised I was going to bring her some once I was done. I did, and oh boy, she loved it. Alright, at this point I went in with some onion, tomatoes, some butter, and some of the stew that I set aside earlier. Not sure why that clip didn't come up, but I always set some stew aside, which I like to add towards the end of the cooking. Cover this and allow it to melt for another 15 minutes on medium-low heat. 15 minutes later, stir everything well to combine, and look at that, our jollof is jollofing. So delicious, you guys. The aroma was nose blinding. I hope you try this out. Enjoy it when you do. You can serve this with some coleslaw, have it by itself as a meal, and trust me, it is so delicious. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Send me your pictures on Instagram at joyfulcook_. See you in my next one. Bye.